El filibusterismo ni Jose Rizal at ang pagwawakas. The analysis. Main character in El filibusterismo is a juggler by the name Simon Crisostomos Ibarra's new identity in this person. He escaped the pursuing soldier ranks in the prequel Nolimi Tangere. The narrative reveals that Crisostomo unearthed his buried treasure, escaped to Cuba, grew richer and richer, and made friends with Spanish authorities. The newly constituted Simon eventually went back to Philippines, where he was free to wander around many years later. He has power not only because of his wealth, but also because the governor counts him as a close friend and advisor. On the surface, Simon appears to be Spain's buddy, and that he is Spain's friend. He exacted harsh retaliation against the Spanish government, nevertheless in secret. Two passions were starting a revolution in the United States and freeing his lover Maria Clara from the Santa Clara Monastery, Spain versus the Philippines. A steamboat that sailed from the Pasig River through Manila to Laguna de Bay is where the tale of El filibusterismo began. Simon was one of the travelers, with Doña Victoria, his gorgeous niece Pauleta Gomez, the pro-Hispanic Filipino Don Custodio, Teresibela, Vice President of the University of Santo Tomas, the parish priest of tiny town, Padre Salve, a Franciscan friar who preceded Santiago Cola, Father Irini, a friendly friar who was friends with a Filipino student, Father Florentino, a retired. Additionally, there is Basilio, the son of Sisa, a bright medical student whose tuition is paid for by Captain Tiago, his employer. Spanish governor's personal friend and confidant, Simon is a wealthy and enigmatic guy. He was known as the Black Eminence or the Brown Cardinal because of his enormous power in Malacañang. He supported the subjugation of the masses, aggravated the moral decay of the nation, and encouraged corruption in the government using his riches and political clout, which led the populace to become desperate and engage in violence. With the aid of Quiroga, a successful Chinese businessman who wanted to represent China and Manila, he smuggled firearms in the nation. Due to the terrible news that Maria Clara had passed away at the convent, his initial attempt to launch an armed insurrection was unsuccessful. He did not announce the beginning of the better duel. Simon developed his strategy to topple the government after suffering from illness for a protracted period of time, owing to the tragic loss of Maria Clara. He represented a lovely lamp as a wedding gift to Pauleta Gomez and Juanito Palais on the occasion of their nuptials. The poet Isagani, who had been torn down for the wedding supper because of his liberal viewpoints, was standing outside the home at the time. Saddened by the happiness he saw there, Basilio, a friend of his, told him to stay away since the lit lamp would immediately explode. Isagani recognized that his beloved Paulita was in great danger when he learned the dreadful secret of the lamp. He sprinted into the home, grabbed the lit lamp, and hurled into the river, where it exploded, saving his life. A revolutionary conspiracy was uncovered. Soldiers fired down Simon, but he managed to get away. He arrived at Father Florentino's house near the sea, seriously hurt, carrying treasure trove. Now, the Spanish authorities did, however, became aware of his presence at Father Florentino's home. Later, Civil Guard Police Lieutenant Perez told the press that Simon will be taken into custody at 8 o'clock that evening. Simon escaped being charged with using poison. He confided in Father Florentino at the end of his life, revealing his true identity to the world. His foolish plan of utilizing his money to exact retribution and his evil intention to annihilate both his allies and his enemy. The dying Simon made a lengthy and a sad confession. When Father Florentino stood up to begin his meditation, it was already dark. He wiped the sweat from his crazy brow. God will forgive you, Sir Simon, he tells the dying man. He is aware of our vulnerability. You may see his boundless kindness in that he has observed your suffering and has decreed that the punishment for your sins will come in the form of death from the very people you have inspired to commit crime. He has thwarted each of your careful thought-out plans, starting with Maria Clara's death, moving on to a lack of planning, and finally in some mysterious way. Let us admit to his well and thank him. Father Florentino prayed for the deceased jeweler while kneeling to the ground after seeing Simon die in a harmony with his conscience and live in harmony with God. The treasure casket was thrown into the water by the priest. National hero Dr. Jose P. Rizal wrote the book El Filibusterismo. The three priests, known as Gomburza, who were martyred, give it a dedication. El Filibusterismo is a far nester in wars because the book's message is that violence is never the solution. It has the potential to significantly improve me as a person. That is evident in the novel's narrative. Simon first intends to use any methods required to save Maria Clara. That implies that in contrast to what Ibarras believed, he will use force if necessary to accomplish his aim. In the end, Jose Rizal demonstrated via Simon's death and Father Florentino's cries that violence is never the solution. The outcome clearly shown that resorting to violence is never the solution, any object. It is merely a means of producing a fresh issue in its place.